Test 2. Section 1. You will hear a man, Ricky, answering an inquiry from a woman, Daniela, about health insurance. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Hello, First Life Insurance. My name's Ricky. Can I help you?
Yes, I hope so. I'm looking to get some more information about health insurance.
OK. And can you give me your full name?
Daniela Forbes.
Forbes. I can help you, of course. But you do know all our information is on the website.
Oh, yes, I know. I got your details from a health insurance comparison website, but when I went on it, the website kept freezing. So I took your number and thought I'd ring you.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So, what would you like to know?
Could you tell me how much it costs to cover the whole family for a year?
If I can take a few details, I can type them in, and then we'll get a figure. How many people are we talking about?
2 adults and 2 children.
OK. And could you tell me the ages of your children?
A boy, Charles, 7, and a girl, Amy, 9.
And could you give me your ages?
My husband, John, is 31, and I'm 33.
31 and 33. And your occupations?
We're both in education. My husband's a primary school teacher, and I'm a college lecturer.
Fine. And in the past, have any of you had any major illnesses, like...
Actually, none at all.
And does that include your children?
Oh, yes.
That's good. And do you or your husband smoke?
No.
And have you had health insurance before?
No.
OK. And are you looking for a plan that gives comprehensive cover?
Yes, we want cover for the dentist, the optician, and the doctor and hospital stays.
Fine. Let's see. What about alternative therapies?
Like what?
Acupuncture, physiotherapy?
Are they covered in the comprehensive plan?
Yes. You do know that you can also select individual plans.
Yes, but we want full cover for the whole family.
OK. I'll just put in these details and see what the computer comes up with.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 7 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 7 to 10.
And the cost?
For comprehensive cover for the whole family, it's showing £73.59 per month.
For the 4 of us, for everything?
Yes.
That's really reasonable. If we go on to the website again, will all the information still be there?
Oh, yes. I can give you a reference number. Have you got a pen?
Just hold on. OK, I'm ready.
It's PB 663 885 FJ.
Did you say SG?
No, FJ.
OK, got it.
Oh, and I should mention the discount. If you take out the insurance, you get the first 2 months for free.
That's worth having.
Yes, it helps quite a lot. And another thing you might be interested in is that if you recommend friends and they take out the insurance, you get £50 worth of book vouchers.
Oh, great. I have several friends who may be interested.
You can pay online for the year in advance, or you can set up a payment to be taken out of your bank each month.
OK.
I can set things up for you, and you can think about it and complete everything online.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear a radio program about local attractions. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 17. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 17.
Now we're going over to David, who's going to talk briefly about what visitors to St John's and the surrounding area can expect to see.
Thank you, Caroline. The town is well known for its pretty buildings in local stone, along with an internationally famous golf course and its castle ruins on the edge of the town. But if you prefer shopping or eating instead of sightseeing, you won't be disappointed, as the town has plenty to offer for a wide range of tastes. You won't find amusement arcades here, nor will you find any fast food restaurants, but we have restaurants specialising in local dishes using local products, as well as a wide range of independent coffee shops and tea shops. In fact, the town is famous for not having any chain cafes, restaurants or shops, which is why it attracts lots of visitors, especially in the summer. And we also have several local bookshops, which are a focal point for reading groups, and a literary festival which is held once a year. But you don't have to go far if it's sand and sea and all the entertainment that goes with them that you're looking for. There are 4 local beaches that cater for all tastes. There are 2 beaches that are a 15-minute bus ride away, both to the southeast of the town and both facing south, so they catch the sun all day. Black Rock is probably the quieter of the 2, as it's small. The buses run there once an hour, but there are no shops or refreshment facilities around, and parking is not easy. There's no car park, so visitors have to leave their vehicles along the roads approaching the beach. Sandy Beach is very different. It has easy access to the town, and you can walk there along a promenade and get to the beach easily. And if you have things to carry, there is a huge car park with lots of space, as well as a very frequent bus service every 5 minutes. This is one of the reasons why Sandy Beach is very suitable for families. It's also good for swimmers, as the area near the shore is very shallow. There are 2 other small beaches that are further along the coast to the west of Black Rock Beach. Port Tray is the first. It's very popular with surfers, especially at weekends as it has huge waves, so it's not very suitable for swimmers. As the young crowd seem to like this place, it can be a bit noisy in the evenings and weekends. This beach is not really for families with children or older people. The 4th beach is Little Cove, an area of outstanding natural beauty. It is easily accessible on foot, but you have to walk down a fairly steep cliff path to get to the beach. Once you're there, there's nothing but a beautiful curved beach with crystal clear water and, more often than not, very few people. It's something that shouldn't be missed.
Before you hear the rest of the programme, you have some time to look at questions 18 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 18 to 20.
But there are also plenty of activities for individual tourists and families in the surrounding countryside, if you don't fancy shopping or the beach. There are villages with old houses to visit and farms where you can pick your own fruit. And some farms also have activities for children, like helping with the animals. And, of course, there are cliff-top walks along the coast and walks in the woodlands, which are popular for picnics. And there are also river activities like canoeing and swimming. If you want more information about these and other facilities in the area, contact the local tourist centre.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 3. Section 3. 2 overseas university students, called Tanya and Carlo, are preparing for a presentation in a seminar. They are discussing their preparation with a tutor. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
We've got a couple of minutes left, so Tanya and Carlo, have you got any questions about your seminars next week and the week after?
Is it okay if I go first?
Yeah, no problem. There are just a few things I'd like to check.
Your seminar's going to be on...
At first, I was going to do it on sugar in the future, but then decided on a different commodity, corn.
I thought you were going to do it on metals and oil.
No, nothing like that. I'm looking at corn and the implications for several countries of a rise in prices because of population growth.
That sounds really interesting.
So what do you want to ask about?
I wanted to ask about the overall organization of the slides, to see if you think it's okay. I've got some slides here on my tablet, but I haven't finalized them yet.
OK, let's have a look.
For example, the table on this slide gives the ranking of the top corn exporters I'm using as examples, along with some statistics and comments. You can see that the United States is first with export volumes of 513,834 million tons, and it has 36% of world corn production. And then, in about a decade from now, it is expected that overall production will increase by 50%. And the UK is ranked third, with exports of 114 million tons. At the moment, the EU overall is responsible for 3% of world production, but that should increase in the future. And Chile comes fifth, with only 6 million tons. But Latin America overall has enormous untapped potential, as it has about 40% of the world's uncultivated cropland.
Fascinating.
So, in future, a lot of grain in the world may come from Latin America. But if that potential is not realized with rising population increases and occasional crop failures as a result of natural disasters, feeding the whole world could be a problem in the future.
It sounds as if your talk will be very thought-provoking, but I'd try and get the slides down to about 15, excluding the title page.
All right. I'll aim for 16 then.
Is there anything else?
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 28 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 28 to 30.
But how can I stop myself reading from a script? I'll be so nervous if I don't have one to read from. I don't mind answering questions at the end, but I get really nervous when speaking in front of people.
Carlo, what about you?
I used to be much the same, but I've been practicing with friends. I talk about the PowerPoints, and I've managed to keep it to 20 minutes. To help make myself focus, I've put the slides on a timer, so I have only 2 minutes per slide. This has really made me concentrate.
Oh, that's a neat idea.
I can show you how to do it and practice with you if you want.
Would you?
Problem seems to have been solved then. Carlo, is there anything you want to talk about for your presentation?
I think I'm okay about everything. But maybe one thing. What about animation? Is it okay to use special features like that?
By all means, yes. But be careful.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about a university design project. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Today, I'm going to give some feedback on our project on the latest developments in wearable technology, which is exciting everyone in the fashion department at the moment. Wearable technology is having a huge impact on the fashion world, from tech glasses to smart fabrics that incorporate monitors and respond to light and human activity. Soon, you'll be able to charge your mobile phone from electricity generated by solar panels in your clothes. My colleagues and I have been working on a design project, which is partly funded by a government grant, specifically in order to help establish links between the fashion department and young technology companies outside the university. First of all, I'd like to point out there are different teams that we're working with inside the university, not just those in the Technology Institute, but also sports, science, and health. The products that we're working on may be design-led, but we would not be able to function without the two local tech companies we're involved with. The main benefit of this cooperation is that in the end, it has led to the products that we're working on appealing much more to the commercial world, which in turn has raised the department's profile considerably. A direct consequence of this enhanced reputation is that we've received increased research funding from other outside agencies, not just the government, but sponsorships from fashion and sports companies. Fashion design plays a central role in all wearable tech products if they are to appeal to a wider market. Early examples of products we made were clumsy and not very attractive and awkward to wear, as it was difficult to put the technology in garments, such as shirts or vests, together. But the latest versions are very promising indeed. We've just started looking at fashion items that monitor sports people's activities. They're already in common use, but we're concentrating on additional accessories, such as bracelets, that will appeal to the general public because of their design, not just their function. We may find that bracelets will one day be incorporated into socks to monitor runners' performance and ability and reduce injury. This is not a mile away from health monitors looking at the heart, breathing, and general performance after an operation. However, there's no doubt that there are challenges. The general public may not be ready for more technology, and technology in their clothes as well, and the extra cost may put a lot of people off. So what we need to do above everything else is somehow come up with something that works well, is attractive to the public, and inexpensive. As I just mentioned, we also have to bear in mind that people may be technology weary, so we have to be careful about introducing the products at the right time and catching the eye of the public through careful advertising. One downside of all these developments is people being overly obsessed with the data and more stressed. Like their mobile phones, people may not be able to go out without their wearable tech accessories. But if they're used sensibly, then this won't happen. What's more, the care of the garments might put people off. We have to ensure that neither the fabrics nor the technology are destroyed through cleaning. We're looking at using special coatings that prevent the technology from being destroyed when washed again and again. We're being helped in this regard by the fact that technology is becoming smaller and easier to work with. And the first item to go into production. That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the Ielts test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.